The airlock hissed. Instead of a human, a Vresh in a Terran uniform walked onto the platform. The silence was a weapon. Premier Zolan stared. His prepared human greeting died on his lips. Behind him, Advisor Tarn's face twisted with suspicion. A Vresh in enemy colors.
I am Sophia of Terra. I represent the Terran Republic.
She spoke their language, not the pidgin of diplomats, but the formal eloquence of a native.
How had a Vresh survived? And why did she stand with humans?
The silence stretched until it hurt. Council members exchanged glances, none willing to speak first.
I have stories to share, but first, hear my proposal.
She held their gaze, her dark sclera unblinking. The weight of her presence settled over the plaza like a challenge.
This was not the arrogance they had steeled against. This was something far more dangerous.
20 years earlier, during the Vresh Civil War, a Terran rescue team found a survivor. In the rubble of a bombed hospital, a Marine uncovered an infant. She was still breathing. She had no name, no known family. The war had taken everything. They called her Sophia. Word reached Earth. Jonathan and Carolyn Reeves, a couple from San Diego, stepped forward.
She's so small, and she's already endured a war.
She won't fight alone anymore. Not while we live.
At age 8, Sophia would spend hours in her San Diego backyard, staring through a telescope, searching the sky for her lost homeworld.
They threw me away, but these strangers saved me. I don't understand why.
Night after night, Carolyn would find her, drape a blanket around her shoulders, and tell her she was loved beyond measure. Humanity became her home, but a part of her still yearned for the stars that witnessed her first breath. Sophia graduated with honors, a lone Vresh face in a sea of human caps and gowns.
Remember that little girl staring at the stars? She's about to touch them.
You are our greatest miracle, Sophia. Never forget that.
Her sisters circled her, teasing about alien diplomacy and future adventures. But their laughter was thin, and their hugs lasted longer than usual.
They made me human. Now I'll carry that humanity to the stars.
The morning she left for the academy, Carolyn held her at the door, and neither spoke for a long while. Then Sophia walked down the path, and the house she'd grown up in became a silhouette against the morning sun. The Terran Diplomatic Corps Academy was a place of gleaming steel and endless pressure. She thrived. She studied Vresh history, language, culture, every scrap she could find. Her instructors called it obsession.
I will go back, and I will make them see what humanity is capable of. Not war, but mercy.
The briefing room aboard the cruiser was cold, its walls a steel gray devoid of comfort.
You understand what they'll see, Sophia. A Vresh in our uniform. Some will call you traitor before you speak.
Then I'll let my actions echo louder than their accusations. I didn't learn mercy from Vresh doctrine.
Just remember, this isn't a standard diplomatic mission. The Vresh Council hasn't seen a human in 20 years. Our intelligence is thin.
Sophia nodded, her jaw set. The file on the desk contained everything known about her birth world, which was dangerously little. Later in her quarters, Sophia stared at the bulkhead. Her reflection, of Vresh and Terran colors, stared back.
They call me alien, but I've never been anything else. Maybe that's my strength.
The Terran diplomatic cruiser broke Earth orbit, its engines a silent promise carrying one of the last survivors of a broken war home. She spent the first days of the voyage hunched over a language module, every syllable a step toward a world she'd never truly known. Ahead lay the Vresh star system, and the first test of whether a human-raised heart could bridge an ancient wound. Sophia stared at the ancient Vresh glyph rotating on her display. The script felt like a wound she was learning to heal.
These words carry sorrow I never felt, but they also carry a hope they've forgotten.
She dove into the pre-war literature, searching not for facts, but for the soul she'd been denied.
You haven't slept in 3 days. You can't negotiate on fumes.
Every poem is a clue. They need to see I understand them, not just their language.
During a routine biometric recalibration, her DNA signature triggered an ancient citizen registry, and the system logged her as a living Vresh national.
I'm no longer just an envoy. I'm a citizen resurrected from the dead.
The cruiser dropped out of FTL, and Vresh Prime filled the viewport, a bruised world, its wounds still raw. Sophia stood at the observation deck, the scarred planet below mirroring the fracture inside her chest.
We'll be in orbit in 6 hours. Last chance to change the mission parameters.
The cruiser slipped into high orbit, and a Vresh defense platform swiveled its cannon to track them. A harsh voice crackled over the comm. Unidentified vessel. Transmit credentials or be destroyed.
This is Envoy Sophia of Terra. Authorization Echo 795. I speak for the Republic.
The line went silent for 10 breaths. Then a single word crackled back. Proceed.
That was too easy. They're either impressed or planning something.
Or both. Now we find out if my face opens doors or closes them.
The shuttle detached from the cruiser and began its descent, cutting through the atmosphere toward the capital city. Through the viewport, Sophia saw the scars of the Civil War, cratered cities, cracked continents, her homeworld. The shuttle banked over the government complex, its plaza dotted with waiting figures in traditional robes. Touchdown. The landing struts locked with a dull clang, and the ramp seal hissed. The silence outside was heavier than vacuum.
19 years, 21 solar shifts, every lesson, every page, every night awake, they all meet here.
The ramp seal broke with a hiss. Light spilled onto the ancient stone, and Sophia walked into it. The delegation saw not a human conqueror, but a daughter of Vresh wearing the uniform of Earth.
Not one of them, one of us, but raised by their hands. What have they done?
Advisor Tarn's jaw clenched so tight it creaked. His mind scrambled for a weapon in protocol. The plaza was silent. Not the silence of respect, the silence of a wound reopening. Sophia stopped precisely 6 paces from the premier, the ceremonial distance of a returning exile.
They see a ghost. I need them to see a bridge.
Premier Zolan's lips parted, but the greeting he had rehearsed for human ambassadors died unspoken. On that windless platform, the first move was not for him to make. It was hers.
Honored Premier Zolan, son of Wraithal the Unbowed, keeper of the seventh flame. I greet you in the old way.
The ancient blessing had not been spoken in 40 years. Several elders touched their own throats, stunned.
Who are you, truly?
I am Sophia Reeves, raised on Earth, born in the ash of Kethera Hospital. I carry the blood of both.
She extended a datapad bearing the seal of the Terran Republic and the Vresh Citizen Registry, both codes verified.
A puppet. They sent a puppet to shame us.
The word snaked through the delegation like contamination, but Sophia's gaze remained fixed on the premier.
I bring a proposal that can heal this world. Will you grant me audience in the council chamber?
We will convene. Follow me.
The massive doors of the council hall swung inward, revealing a dome where every war hero was painted in faded glory. Sophia stepped across the threshold. The council took their seats around the dark stone table. Sophia remained standing, as was her right as envoy.
I was pulled from the rubble of Kethera Hospital. A Terran Marine named Lieutenant Donovan carried me out.
She spoke of Terran foster parents, human sisters, a backyard telescope. Each word peeled away a layer of suspicion.
This is sentiment. We need to know Earth's demands.
Earth demands nothing. We bring an offer.
The premier raised a hand, silencing Tarn. Let her finish.
I earned my rank in the Terran Diplomatic Corps. I studied Vresh history, your poets, your wars, your sorrows.
She recited a line from the Epic of Oparan, a lament for lost children. 2 council members paled.
I am not here to judge. I am here to close a wound. But that requires trust. I will present my proposal formally tomorrow, when tempers have cooled.
Zolan nodded slowly. Very well. We reconvene at dawn. The chamber erupted into hushed urgency as Sophia stepped back. At dawn, the council reconvened. Sophia stood at the head of the stone table, a holographic projection of the Terran Republic charter floating beside her.
The Terran Republic offers full reintegration of Vresh as autonomous citizens. Your sovereignty remains, your culture untouched.
A puppet! You would sell our birthright for Terran credits. This is conquest dressed in silk.
There are no Terran troops in this proposal. No governors, only teachers, engineers, and a promise to rebuild what we destroyed.
Why? Why would Earth, after decades of silence, offer this now?
Because 19 years ago, a human family taught a Vresh orphan that mercy is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. I am their answer.
The silence that followed was not hostile. It was the sound of a council confronting an impossible truth.
They didn't conquer us with fleets. They raised a single child, and now she stands here as our mirror.
This council will recess for 1 hour. When we return, we will vote.
The chamber dissolved into frantic whispers. Sophia stood motionless, her heart pounding the rhythm of a world's fate. In a spare chamber off the council hall, Sophia opened a secure channel to the cruiser. Captain Wren's face appeared, grim.
Sophia, we've detected encrypted traffic between Tarn's estate and a military barracks. Something is planned for today.
A coup attempt? They wouldn't dare before the vote.
He doesn't need to win. He only needs chaos to discredit you. I can have a security team on the surface in 15 minutes.
If I bring Terran soldiers now, I become the conqueror they fear. The proposal dies.
She remembered a night in San Diego after a fall from her bicycle. Carolyn had knelt beside her in the driveway.
Courage isn't about not being scared, sweetheart. It's being terrified and still choosing to do what's right.
That lesson was forged in a human backyard. Now it will be tested in a Vresh council hall. No troops, Captain. Inform the Premier quietly. I will face the council unarmed. Let them see what Earth really taught me.
She closed the channel and walked toward the council doors, the weight of 2 worlds balanced on her shoulders. The council doors swung inward. Sophia walked to her place, and every eye followed. The air was thick with unfinished decisions.
We have heard your offer. Now I will speak as Premier, and as a Vresh who remembers the war.
Zolan rose slowly, and when he spoke again, his voice filled the ancient dome like a forgotten anthem.
They could have bombed our cities. Instead, they raised our orphan. They made her strong, learned, and loyal, not to a flag, but to what is right.
He turned toward Sophia, and the council saw a strange light in his eyes, pride and sorrow, and the exhaustion of a long war.
Your very existence is a human triumph. It proves their way is better. Why, then, should we not accept their open hand?
I am not a weapon. I am not a symbol of dominance. I am a child who was loved, and I am here to extend that love to my birth world.
This is capitulation. You would crown a human puppet? I will not witness this.
Tarn shoved his chair back and stormed toward the doors, his boots echoing like war drums. The heavy stone boomed shut behind him. In the stunned silence, voices erupted, but Sophia saw the shift. The council argued not about whether to accept, but how. Zolan gestured toward a side door. Walk with me, envoy. There is something you should see. They stepped onto a high balcony. The wind carried the scent of old fires and the distant hum of the wounded city.
You see that district? 100,000 died there in 3 days. The war never really ended for those ruins.
I was pulled from rubble not unlike this. Every day on Earth I carried that weight.
Then tell me truly, why did Earth send you? They could have sent a human admiral, a battleship. Why you?
They didn't send me as a weapon. They sent me to prove a point, that mercy could win what war could not.
Then you should know, the hero who held Kithara Hospital, who died protecting the maternity wing, his name was Soran. He was your father.
A hero. Not abandoned, but sacrificed. The rubble that buried me was his last stand.
Before she could speak, klaxons shrieked through the capital. Red light pulsed down the corridor behind them.
Tarn. He moves faster than I feared.
The corridor filled with bootsteps. Guards loyal to Tarn sealed the exits. The council building became a cage.
Captain, Tarn has locked down the building. I won't evacuate. I need an open channel to every Vresh Guard frequency.
Sophia, that's suicide. He'll have soldiers at your position in minutes.
Then I'll be dead before I become the conqueror they fear. Open the channel, Captain. That's an order.
A screen flickered to life in the council hall. Tarn's face filled it, triumphant and cold.
You see, Premier? Your human puppet cannot protect you. Surrender the council, or blood will stain these stones.
Sophia stepped to the chamber's central comm station. She triggered the building-wide broadcast. Her voice would reach every guard.
Vresh soldiers, hear me. I am Sophia, born in Kethera, daughter of Saran the Unbowed. I stand here unarmed, offering your children schools, not graves.
In the corridor, a young Vresh guard lowered his rifle. Others paused, listening.
Lies. She is a Terran weapon. Seize her.
The broadcast echoed. In the corridor, a rifle clattered to the stone, then another. Guards were murmuring her father's name. On the screen, Tarn's image jerked. Hands seized his shoulders from behind. The building's security had turned.
This is treachery. When the Republic crushes you, remember I warned you.
The screen flickered off. The emergency lights shifted from red to amber. The coup was over without a single shot.
Premier, the Council, the threat has passed. No blood was spilled because they listened.
I formally surrender Vresh to the Terran Republic, under the autonomous terms you have outlined.
Soren the Unbowed, your daughter has brought peace to your world. Rest now.
The council chamber filled with a sound no one expected. Weeping. Decades of war, ending in tears. The formal signing would wait, but the surrender was sealed in that moment. Vresh had chosen, not from fear, but from a pride they had never allowed themselves to feel. Sophia turned to the guards holding Tarn.
He will not be executed. He will be taught the mercy he denied.
You would spare him after what he did?
Mercy is not weakness. Let him become the first student of the new schools.
The surrender document was drafted on ancient parchment, the terms echoing Sophia's proposal. At her insistence, a clause guaranteed funding for schools across the war-torn planet.
This is what will heal Vresh classrooms, not barracks.
You are not what we expected, Sophia Reeves. You are more...
The stone table bore the draft, the seal of both governments ready. The terms were set. Full autonomy, a massive education initiative, and reconstruction aid. Vresh would rise not as conquered, but as equal partners. The document lay on the table, the seals of Terra and Vresh inlaid in gold. It awaited only a signature. Sophia gazed at it, her hand steady, her heart full. Sophia lifted the ceremonial pen. For one endless heartbeat, it hovered above the parchment, as if testing whether peace was heavier than war.
Father, I finished your fight. Mother, I kept your promise.
The pen touched the document. Her signature in flowing Vresh script sealed the surrender. She handed the pen to Zolan. He signed without ceremony, adding the weight of a dying era. A planetary channel opened. In every inhabited corner of Vresh, screens flickered to life.
Citizens of Vresh, the war which devoured our parents has ended. Schools will rise where ruins stood.
In a crowded market square, a child with a worn toy looked up, uncomprehending. Then a ripple. A woman wept openly. Others joined, the sound swelling into something between a sob and a cheer.
They're not afraid. They're relieved.
The blue glow of the broadcast washed over the ancient stone, and a new age began. Sophia walked through the shell of a bombed school, classrooms open to the sky. A crowd of educators and parents gathered among the rubble.
Where there are ruins, we will build laboratories. Where there was hatred, we will teach history. No child will learn to hate again.
That afternoon, she convened the first educational council, allocating Terran credits directly to Vresh teachers who had kept learning alive during the war.
The first school opens in 6 months. I want every broken window replaced with a telescope.
She knelt in the dust, distributing glowing tablets that spoke in Vresh script and human code. 2 worlds, 1 lesson.
This is the revenge I promised. Mercy, multiplied.
Across the district, construction drones hummed, their blueprints drawn from the tragedy itself.
Brick by brick, we bury the war.
A child traced her name in the fresh mortar of a new wall.
You are the first generation that will learn peace. Teach your parents.
At dusk, Sophia walked alone to the war memorial, a towering black wall engraved with the names of the fallen. In her hands, a bouquet of native ghost flowers, blooms that only grew on battlefields. She stopped before two names etched together, Soran the Unbowed and Mirella of the Seventh Flame.
Father, I finished the fight you started. Mother, I became the daughter you couldn't raise.
She knelt and placed the bouquet at the base, the ghost flowers pulsing with a soft inner light.
I was angry at this world for so long, but now I understand. You died so that I might live.
She touched the engraved names, tracing each letter with a trembling fingertip.
I'm Sophia Reeves. I am the daughter of Soran and Mirella. Both are true. Both are whole.
A tear splashed onto the stone, then another, but her lips curved into a smile, the first true peace she had ever known. The memorial glowed under the rising stars. She whispered a vow to teach every Vresh child the stories written on those stones. At dawn, Sophia walked onto the landing platform where she had first arrived. The cruiser above now bore the Vresh emblem beside the Terran seal. She opened a holochannel. After a tense moment, a familiar living room flickered into view.
Mom, Dad, it's over. Vresh is at peace.
Oh, my girl. We watched it all. Your father hasn't stopped pacing.
You walked into a lion's den and brought out hope. That's our Sophia.
Behind them, Emma cried openly, and Lily bounced on the couch, cheering.
You're a hero. I'm going to tell everyone my sister saved a planet.
I only did what you taught me to love without limits.
The laughter that filled the channel was the sound of a family whole. Light years dissolved into nothing. A new sun climbed over the capital. Sophia stood on the platform, the weight of war replaced by the warmth of dawn. Months later, the rebuilt market district hummed with color and sound. Stalls overflowed with native fruits, and the laughter of children replaced the echoes of war. Sophia walked among them, her uniform replaced by a simple tunic. Citizens bowed as she passed, not to a ruler, but to the one who had rebuilt their hope.
I used to dream of this market in ashes. Now the only fire is the sun on these awnings.
She entered a new school built from the rubble. Inside, children sat cross-legged, their eyes fixed on a holographic star map.
Today we talk about Terra, a world that is now your sister. Its people do not look like us, but they love like us.
A young girl raised her hand and asked the question that still echoed in every Vresh home. Did the humans truly save you?
They did. And they taught me that no child, human or Vresh, should ever suffer as we did. That is why we learn together now.
She pointed to a star on the map. Sol, the light that had guided her home.
2 worlds, 1 heart. It was never about conquest. It was always about coming home.
The classroom windows opened to a city rising from ash, and a sky full of stars. On the anniversary of the surrender, Sophia returned to the high balcony where she had first glimpsed the war's scars. The distant rumble of construction had replaced the scream of klaxons.
My father held a hospital. I held a future. Both require the same stubborn hope.
The wind carried the scent of fresh mortar and wildflowers. Below, a new city stretched toward the horizon, all clean lines and gleaming spires where craters once gaped.
This is what peace looks like. Not a void, but a construction site.
She stood there until the sun fully cleared the mountains, its light spilling over the rebuilt schools, the repaired hospitals, the quiet memorials. A child's laughter floated up from a nearby classroom, the sound a world makes when it decides to live. Humanity had not conquered the Vresh with fleets or fear. They had raised a child, and that child had brought them home. 2 worlds, 1 heart.